For John, your first, I know you guys had the red-white scrimmage, but kind of your first game here, you obviously looked to kind of find your shot. What did you kind of see today, and how were you able to maybe get more into a groove in the second half?
Yeah, just the opportunity to compete. We came out here, obviously first game of the year, don't really know what to expect except for that we're going to play hard. And, yeah, I mean, we had a couple of, shots not fall, but we stuck with it and got the win.
Right center.
Steve, there was, I think the game got to 2 points there, midway through the second half, and then your team went on a run. What changed? What got better? How were you guys able to put some distance between yourself and River Falls?
I think we just kind of locked in. We had some guys that came off the bench. Gilly did a good job. Tanj did a good job all night. Kamari McGee, Jack Janicki. Those guys came in, gave us a spark, and did their thing, and they helped us pull away a little bit there. So they did great.
Right in front, Michael.
Carter, you had 3 threes yourself. Is this team going to take a lot of threes this year from everything you know about the offense?
Yeah, I think that's something the coaches have harped on us a good amount of, just that we're shooting the ball this year. We're not passing up open looks, and we've done that in years past. I think myself especially, and I think that's what the coaches are working on and emphasizing a good amount is if you're open, shoot it, get open shots, and just make the right play.
Jim.
Steve, you've been around this program for a while. Is this year going to take a little bit to kind of figure things out just because there's so many new faces and getting the chemistry right and all that?
Yeah, no, it's why we do these exhibitions is to try to mesh the new guys with the guys that have been here and done it. And I think everyone's doing a great job of trying to build that chemistry. And I think it might take a little longer just because we have a lot of new guys, but we'll get there eventually. And like I said, I think everyone's doing great.
Carter, back on your left. From Saturday to tonight, what got better for you guys and what needs to improve before Monday?
I think what got better is we saw a lot of stuff on film that day, and a lot of it, I think, is just working with each other. We got a bunch of new guys, and we got a lot of different play calls that we have on offense, and then a lot of ways, a lot of rules on defense that we follow. So I think just continually catching the new guys up to speed was a little step forward that we took. But I think that's also the step we got to continue to take is get everyone on the same page, new guys, old guys, and I think it's just a lot of work with this transfer portal and stuff. Now you got new teams, new coaches, and just trying to get everyone on the same page offensively and defensively is, I think, where we took the biggest step. But I also think that's the biggest step that we got to continue to make as well of just all the rules that we have, all the plays that we have, continuing to gel and work well together.
Michael.
John, you guys used a lot of subs. Obviously, you go going in and out of the game. When you guys are, not really getting extended run and going in and out, is taking some time to get into a rhythm expected at this stage, and as you guys are kind of figuring things out?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something we all kind of expected going into this game, first game of the year. Got a lot of guys, and coaches need a look from everyone. We want to see what guys can do and where we can fit in as a team for down the line. And it's to be expected. I'm completely fine with the outcome, and now we got some film, and we can learn with the win. So,
Steve, this was your and Nolan's kind of first extended look together against a different opponent. You two were both incredibly efficient inside the inside the two. What kind of worked today with you two, and what did you kind of see on the court?
Yeah, no, like we were saying earlier, just trying to build that chemistry with maybe guys that are lineups you haven't played with for years, but I think he's a great presence in there. Just his ability to shoot it, how big he is too. Just having 2 7-footers in there is gonna be great for us. And then, I think just looking for each other, especially in that high low, is the big thing. And just both of our abilities to shoot it really helps. So he's been great so far.
In the back, fellas.
Hey, Steve. As a leader and a returner, how can you set yourself up for the new guys to be a leader this year?
Yeah, just keep communicating with them, being vocal. Coaches obviously show us a lot of film, and we see a lot out there as players and guys that have been here. Me, Carter, have been here for a while, so we've seen a lot of things. And just trying to be in new guys' ears and let them know what we see. And just so I think the biggest thing is just the communication aspect of it.
Oh, one more for the players and
John, is it hard not to resist the urge to kind of force chemistry with a new group with so many new players, especially for older guys like the three of you up there entering your last season? You just have to have it happen organically. Is that kind of the mindset that you have to take?
Yeah, for sure. Chemistry comes with time, and just being dedicated to. And thinking it's important. I think it's very important for our team to, take the time to get to know each other on and off the court. And it does take time. I think we've been doing well, and everyone in the locker room is great guys. Thanks to the coaches getting the right guys in the locker room. And yeah, I mean, we're getting closer every single day. We're all going to learn as a team, and keep improving.
All right. First of all, obviously, thanks to River Falls and that whole community for how they welcomed us in September with our event up there, and then tonight I didn't. Obviously, I'm busy in some huddles, but I know they honored some different people and recognized, the family that was with me at half court at the start of the game. Pedro actually worked camp for us several years ago for many years. Obviously, he lost his wife this past spring, so. But I think it's that's a great testament to our state of how people have rallied around a common cause that unfortunately is everywhere, and we're just happy to be able to help those three organizations up in that part of the state, and hopefully they can do good with the money we're able to supply them and help people there. In terms of the game, obviously we got a long ways to go defensively. That's not new news. Thought we did some good things at times. But, as I went to the bench, I thought we got leaky in different areas, and it shows who's more ready than others. I thought Gilmore, Janicki, and McGee really gave us a boost in the second half and did simple things. Obviously, Gilmore's threes jump out, but his ability to stop dribble penetration, rebound, extra effort plays, those things, and Jack obviously getting on the floor and doing simple things. And that's sometimes what younger or newer guys don't understand or completely grasp early in their careers, how important those little things are, and that's the difference in terms of having success or not. The other stuff will come and fall into place, but I thought Winter did some good things. I think he's coming as a player. Tanjay, Blackwell, and Klesmet will all shoot it better. I think we got to take better shots. We don't have to take as many threes as early, but we were wide open. I know they were really packing the paint on us. So it's why we play these. I wish we could play more, quite frankly, so I could learn more about our group. And I think every coach in the country, given the length of what we have from a late September start until now, and specifically when you have a transient nature to our game and on rosters with transfers and stuff, you just have to get them acclimated really, really fast, and you learn more when you play outside competition. So, questions?
Nick.
Greg, you mentioned Kamari, 5 points, 6 assists, no turnovers. Just how was his play such a steadying influence in the second half?
Yeah, I mean that's what he's been doing, and really, he's been, as I mentioned earlier in other media access days when you guys have talked to me, he's been the most consistent, and that's what he's done day in and day out. Just he makes the teams that he's on better. And I told him as I decided who I was going to start tonight, I want to make sure you have that same energy and bounce. And I think between him and Klesmet really do a good job vocally of leading the team, and those guys are the heartbeat of it. So for him to come in, just simple things: drive it, play off 2 feet, find an open shooter. I mean, and we try to overcomplicate the game at times, and he made simple plays. And then obviously he likes defending. He got beat on some. He missed a block out a time or two, so I'm sure I'll find things on film to pick on him about. But 6 assists, no turnovers that's good guard play.
Jim.
Greg, there are always unknowns going into a season.
There you are.
Yeah, there's always unknowns going into a season. This seems even more so than most because of, like you said, the transient nature.
Right.
Do you know what to expect at all? Do you?
Not yet. I mean, I'm learning just like you guys are, and I've seen probably, what have you guys been in, 4 or 5 times? Okay, I've seen 20 more practices than you have. So, yeah, I'm learning. And I think, like I mentioned at the close of my opening statement, you learn more. And that's why I'm going to push. I don't know if I can get anything accomplished, but the other coaches I talk to around the country trying to play more, get more of these. The 2 was always set up for an October 15th start. And now we start, 3 weeks earlier than that. and you get to the point where practice becomes diminishing returns. You need to see outside competition to get yourself tested. You have to be exposed in some areas, and that's where we were Saturday in some areas. We were again tonight, so that'll push our learning, and we got to learn fast and learn with a lot of new guys. But every coach in the country probably is feeling that we got more back probably on average than most teams in the country, but it's still it definitely feels different. I mean, you mentioned about what do you learn. I don't know. I'm still learning about this team and who can respond, who's ready, who's got to continue to get ready.
Michael?
On that note, the way that you subbed, and you might have used the same strategy on Saturday, were you just rapid fire trying to get as many different combinations of guys on the floor just to see guys together? And
To a degree. I mean, to a degree, but not. I mean, I stuck with the first group through the first media timeout. And then, I wanted to see different combinations together. I wish I could have played some of them a little bit, different combinations. Blackwell and Klesma getting in foul trouble too didn't help that plan. That kind of threw that out the window. You try to, in your mind, think you're going to script substitution patterns, but you get in the game and somebody's playing well, somebody gets foul trouble, somebody, there's always something that gets a wrench that gets thrown into it. But as I've told the guys that maybe don't get as many minutes, you better stay ready because you never know when your opportunity comes. And if I tell them the Tom Brady story all the time, when he got 2 snaps on the scout team and then he turned it into 4 and then 8 and then, everybody knows the story. Same thing. You get 4 minutes, turn it into 7, turn 7 into 10. Just maximize your opportunity. And I mentioned those guys, McGee, Janicki, and Gilmore did that tonight.
Right up here, Coach.
Coach, you went to Nolan Winter with the backup 5 minutes a lot. He had 7 rebounds, led the team there, a couple of nice finishes on the inside. What do you kind of see from him playing that backup center role, and do you kind of see that as a good portion of what he could play as well?
I think we're still learning that, not only from can he handle it and how much can he handle it, how is he impacted by guys around. And by that I mean, can we develop another bigger 5? Obviously, we can get away with a little bit more tonight because they're not as big and not as physical. Lifeguard's physical, but he doesn't have the height. But we also have to develop some of these other 4s. And is it Ilver? Is it Amos? I mean, Gilmore, you just see what he does. I think that's his experience shows and just how he plays so hard and diving on the floor, those things. That's what we need consistently from those other guys if they want to continue to take a step forward. So right now, it depends on matchups, who will play. I think it's a little bit by committee. I like the 2 bigs together. I think Nolan has improved enough to guard 4s and specifically mobile 4s and switch some of the ball screens. He's got to get better at stopping the ball when it comes downhill. We look at it and kind of half let it go by, half try to think we're going to block the shot. So we have to improve in all areas, specific on the defensive end. We're nowhere near where we need to be yet, but it'll come.
Michael?
even if it's somewhat theoretical at this point, what do you like about the 5 that you put out to start the game, specifically how the guards play together?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big lineup that has a lot of scoring punch to it. You know, it doesn't look like it tonight when those guards went 4 for 25 from 3, I think, or maybe from the field. But I've seen enough of them in practice that I know how they shoot it. I think that's a pretty I like that group together, and I really liked them Saturday. I put them together in the latter part of, middle part of the second session we did with Northern Iowa, and I thought we had a lot of really good things, and specifically with Blackwell with the ball in his hands. He'll finish better than what he did tonight. And then it gives us McGee with a little spark off the bench. A spark like he was last year. He really gives us some juice. Now it's who's going to be 7, who's going to be 8, who's going to be 9. I think there's where you see kind of the dogfight and it's not just player versus player in a position. It's a multitude of different people at different positions, and we'll just continue to help them grow and see how they develop.
Jim.
Greg, would you agree that figuring out chemistry is one of the bigger challenges probably for you this year, and how do you speed that up?
Yeah, play. I mean, that's the easiest answer and the best answer. I felt that the chemistry when they got here in June, you're always a little cautious when you have guys coming from different places and different levels of experience, how they're going to mesh together. But watching the chemistry grow off the court, how the older guys welcome the new guys in, I don't think there's not a jealousy or they understand that this where college basketball is now, that there's going to be newcomers, and there's going to be competition. And I think that's the one thing we found through, the first 25, 26 days of practice in these scrimmages is it's very competitive. And it, like I said, the five have kind of risen to the top, and then we'll sort out where the rest fall. But I think from a chemistry amongst each other, they're fine. The chemistry playing together, you can tell, is not specifically, even defensively. Everybody talks about offensive chemistry and moving the ball and those things. The connections defensively are really, really important. And if you're a step late, that's a layup or an open three, and we've got to get better at that. I mean, and some of these guys haven't done it. I don't think John Tanjay switched a lot of screens in his career because it seems like he's consistently a little late reacting, and then late reacting, somebody's open. So we'll continue to help him. Like I said, the older guys, you can tell that have been here, it's much crisper and cleaner. It's when some of the newcomers get in, and we've got to make sure to get them up to speed and help them figure it out fast.
One more question for Coach. Go ahead, Michael.
You guys put up 32 threes today. Are you going to be in that range for a large part, do you think?
I mean, you look at the analytics, Michael. I mean, we've studied a lot of teams. Simple math, this three's worth more than two. Do we just throw it inside more in certain times? Yes. But we're going to shoot threes because that's where the game is. I think we've got good shooters. But I'm not going to be naive enough to think we're not going to play through Steve. We'll get through inside-out threes, but shooting threes is, I think that's where the game has gone, and you want to have a lot of stuff in the paint. The type of threes that we took, like I mentioned, the horizontal passes I said on the radio, where it's not touching the post, out, over, one more pass, out, we get a defense spun around, shoot those threes. Not the one dribble, side dribble, not the horizontal pass where you got to catch it on your side. You can take enough of those if you get to a shot clock situation where we're scrambling. But the inside out ones are the ones that every team that's ever played here, and we'll shoot them much better when the ball's coming inside out and get your toes set and knock them down from there. But it's a long-winded answer to your question. Yeah, we need to shoot threes.